In the aftermath of the recent waves of violence in Israeli mixed cities that shook the foundations of coexistence, young Jewish and Muslim athletes coming together for a joint beach training event right here in Jaffa. Jews and Arabs have been training together in sports in order to build trust and show the power of sports to help unite communities. With us now to talk more about this issue is Danny Hakim, the founder and chairman of Budo for Peace. Danny, thank you so much for being with us. Tell us more about Budo for Peace, what it is that you're doing.
Okay, well, the idea started 20 years ago when I was in Australia. I was on the Australian karate team, and being on an Australian team, like an American team, a European team, I was the token Jew, and there were Lebanese and Iranian Australians. We bonded through sport. And so it made sense. After I moved to Japan, I met real Lebanese and Iranians. And what we had in common was, again, the sport, but also we weren't Japanese. So we shared this. And then I thought, I'll come to Israel and use sport and martial arts as a platform of bringing Jewish and Arab and even Haredi kids together.
What is it about sports in general, and perhaps martial arts more specifically, but what is it about sports that kind of is transformative and allows people to build trust and connection despite differences?
Well, there's no question sport has transformational power for building trust. You know, you have rules, everybody follows those rules. It doesn't matter what country you're from or what religion you're from. You follow those rules together. So it's a common platform. And that building trust also for shared society and also bringing countries together. So that's how sport can do it. And, you know, a lot of people don't see it at first, but then when you see it in action, you see, hey, this makes sense.
We're seeing some of the videos here. I mean, when you have, let's say, a Jewish teen, you know, or an Arab teen, or a kid, they have these stereotypes about the other side. Those stereotypes have been reinforced maybe at home or at school or amongst friends. What are you seeing in, like, I mean, can you see a physical change or an emotional change after a competition or after a training event on the mat?
Yeah, well, first of all, in martial arts, they wear the same clothes, okay? They bow the same way. They use the same language and have the same movements. So your differences, you know, those that are doing judo and those that are doing karate, doesn't matter where you're from, you gravitate to those people because you know those rules and you have that in common. So it's what you have in common, not the differences, that brings you together.
And I guess you learn respect, especially in martial arts. In that level of competition, you learn respect for your opponent. I mean, that's a big part of the respect and the camaraderie.
There's respect, self-control is very important, harmony within yourself, then harmony with others. These are values that are very important in traditional martial arts.
Well, tell me about the work of Budo for Peace, especially in the last few weeks, and we have seen these horrific videos across Israel, these acts of ethnic violence and rioting. Why do you think the work perhaps now is more important, this program more important than ever?
Well, this program and many other sports for peace programs, very important. When I came up with the idea, let's do a beach training, the Sports for Peace community heard about it, said, let's go. And that's why we had Haredi kids that do capoeira. We had surfers that came from East Jerusalem. We all got together, the instructors wanted it, and we wanted to show. And what's also important, since COVID, it's been very difficult. The contact sports haven't been able to get together. But we've been able to have an opportunity to create a coalition of Sports for Peace organizations. And now we have 30 organizations, 100,000 kids. That is an amazing platform for building trust.
What are they telling you after events like this? I mean, what's the feedback that you're getting?
From the instructors, first of all, they want more. From the kids, you know, they're just so happy to do their sport, but also to meet other people. You know, kids their age, it doesn't really matter the sport. What matters is that they are outdoors and they're touching each other, they are looking in the eyes with the other, and this is trust building. Yeah. The games that we do, as I don't know if you see, you know, you're holding hands, you're leaning back, you have to trust each other. These are trust building games, and we do that in all the sports.
Danny Hakim, the founder and chairman of Budo for Peace, incredible work that you're doing. Thank you so much for being here in the program.
I just want to say one more thing, that these Sports for Peace organizations are also part of an alliance of Middle East peace, which are 150 different organizations who are building this coalition for peace. Yeah. And the US government just last year had a huge vote of confidence for this and have given $250 million to build peace builders from the ground up. And we hope at the G7 that these leaders will convince other leaders to be convinced that the mission of our mission is bringing a peace from the ground up.
Very worthy mission indeed. Danny, thank you so much for being here on the Zoom In Show.
Thank you.
We're going to go now to